My wife asked for a break from our marriage, but the part that destroyed me was finding out she did not come up with it on her own. She said it on a Tuesday night. I remember that because I had brought home dinner from the small place near my office. It was the kind of thing I did when I knew she was tired. Chicken, rice, extra sauce on the side, the way she liked it. She barely touched it. She sat across from me at the kitchen table, turning her wedding ring around her finger, not looking at me for more than a second at a time. Then she said, "I think I need space." At first I thought she meant a weekend. Maybe a few quiet days. Maybe she felt overwhelmed. So I nodded and asked, "Space from what?" She looked at me then, and her eyes were already wet. From us. That one word made the whole room feel different. Us. Not work, not stress, not family drama. Us. We had been married for 6 years. We were not perfect, but we were steady. We paid bills together. We planned holidays together. We had a small apartment with plants she kept forgetting to water, and a couch we spent months choosing because she said the wrong couch could ruin a living room. Our marriage was ordinary in the best way. That was why her words did not make sense. She told me she felt lost. She said she did not know who she was anymore. She said she had been carrying too much and needed time to think. I asked if I had done something. She shook her head quickly. "No, you're not a bad husband." That should have made me feel better. It didn't. Because when someone tells you that you are not the problem, but they still want to leave, your mind starts searching for the part they are not saying. I asked if there was someone else. She looked offended. "No, don't make it ugly." So I didn't. I sat there, trying to stay calm, while she explained that she wanted to stay at her parents' house for a while. Just 2 weeks, she said. Maybe 3. She said we should not talk too much during that time. She said space would help her hear her own thoughts. And then she said something that stayed with me. "My family thinks this might be good for me." My stomach tightened, but I let it pass. Her family had always been close to her. Too close sometimes. Her mother called her every morning. Her older sister knew about arguments before I did. Her father never said much, but when he did, everyone acted like his words were final. I used to think that was just how their family worked. What I didn't know that night was that her sentence was not just a comment. It was the first crack in the wall. The first week after she left felt strange but manageable. She took a suitcase, a few work outfits, her laptop, and the small pillow she slept with every night. She kissed my cheek at the door, but it felt like something she did out of habit. I stood in the hallway after she left, staring at the space where her shoes used to be. For the first 2 days, I gave her room like she asked. No long messages, no calls, just one text saying I hoped she got to her parents' place safely. She replied hours later, "Yeah, I'm here." That was it. No heart, no warmth, no thank you. Just enough to answer, not enough to connect. By the 4th day, I started noticing things. She changed her profile picture to one where she was smiling with her sister. She removed the picture of us from her social media header. She stopped wearing her ring in photos her mother posted. Small things. The kind of things people tell you not to overthink. But when your wife is sleeping in another house and suddenly erasing little signs of your marriage, every small thing feels loud. I messaged her on Friday night. "Can we talk tomorrow?" She replied in the morning. "I don't think that's a good idea yet." I stared at that message for a long time. Not because she said no, because it didn't sound like her. My wife was direct. Even when she was upset, she had her own rhythm. Her texts had warmth, even in conflict. This sounded cold, planned, almost like a line someone had told her to send. Then came the first real hit. Her sister posted a picture that Sunday. It was a family dinner at her parents' house. Everyone was sitting around the table. My wife was there, smiling softly, with her mother's hand on her shoulder. The caption said, "Finally choosing peace." I read it 3 times. Choosing peace. As if I was the chaos. As if our home was something she had escaped. I felt embarrassed, then angry, then stupid for feeling both. I had not told anyone about the break yet. I thought it was private. I thought we were handling it with care. but her family was already framing it like a rescue. I called her. She didn't answer. I called again. Nothing. Then I sent one message. "Why is your sister posting about us?" She replied 20 minutes later. She didn't mean anything by it. I typed and deleted so many responses that my hands started shaking. Then I wrote, "It feels like everyone knows something except me." She didn't reply, and that silence told me more than her words had. Over the next few days, things got worse. Her mother started liking old posts from before our wedding, pictures of my wife with her high school friends, photos from trips she took before we met. It felt childish to notice, but I noticed. Then her father called me. That was unusual. He never called me unless it was about something practical, a car issue, a bank document, a dinner plan. This time, his voice was firm. "She needs time. Don't pressure her." I said, "I'm her husband. I just want to understand what's happening." He paused, then he said, "Maybe understanding is not the most important thing right now." That sentence made my chest tighten, because what kind of father says that to the man his daughter married? I asked him if she wanted a divorce. He said, "No one said that." No one. Not she didn't say that. No one. It felt like a meeting had happened and I was the only person not invited. After that call, I started going back through the last few months in my head. There had been signs. Her mother had started coming over more. Sometimes when I was at work, my wife said they were just having lunch. Her sister kept making comments about women losing themselves in marriage. She would say it at dinners while looking directly at my wife. Her father once told me, in a calm voice, that couples should not depend on each other too much. At the time, I laughed it off. Now it all came back with a different shape. The mid-story turn happened because of something simple. A shared tablet. My wife had left her old tablet at home. We used it mostly for recipes and streaming. One evening, I opened it to look for a saved recipe because I had not eaten properly in days. Her messages were not open, but her email was. I know how that sounds. I did not go hunting through every private corner of her life. I was tired, hurt, and looking at the screen in front of me. And then I saw a calendar invite. The title was Talk with A. A was her sister. The date was 3 weeks before my wife asked for a break. There were notes under it. Not full sentences, just bullet-style phrases. Don't let him make it emotional. Say space, not separation. Stay at parents first. Limit contact. Remove pressure. Family will support. I felt cold all over. I read it again, trying to make it mean something else. Maybe it was advice for a friend. Maybe it was about someone else. Maybe I was misunderstanding. Then I saw another email thread. The subject line was, Plan for next month. It was between my wife, her sister, and her mother. I opened it with my heart pounding so hard it hurt. Her sister had written, If you stay there, he will talk you back into the same routine. Her mother replied, She needs to come home first, then we can decide the next step. Then my wife wrote, I don't know if I want to leave him. I just feel confused. That line broke me in a different way, because it showed me she had doubts. But instead of helping her work through them, they built a path out of our marriage. Then her sister wrote back, Confused is enough. You don't need a big reason. I sat there for a long time with the tablet in my lap. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. I was not just hurt because she wanted space. I was hurt because her family had turned our marriage into a group project, and I was the person being discussed, managed, and pushed away. The main reveal came 2 days later. I did not confront her through text. I asked to meet in person. At first, she refused. Then I sent one sentence. I saw the notes. She called me within 30 seconds. Her voice was shaky. What notes? I said, The ones about how to ask for space, the ones your family helped write. She went silent. Then she started crying. We met the next evening at a quiet cafe halfway between our apartment and her parents' house. She looked exhausted, not relaxed, not free, just drained. I placed the tablet on the table between us. I did not yell. I wanted to, but I had spent 2 days with the information, and by then the anger had turned into something heavier. I asked her one question. Was any of it yours? She wiped her face and said, "Some of it." That answer hurt more than a simple yes or no. She told me she had been unhappy, but not in the way her family made it sound. She felt stuck. She felt like we had become roommates sometimes. She felt like I worked too much. She felt like she had stopped saying what she needed because I was always tired. Those things were painful to hear, but they were things we could have talked about. Then she admitted the rest. Her sister had been telling her for months that I was holding her back. Her mother said I was too calm during arguments and that calm men were hard to read. Her father said if she waited too long, leaving would become harder. They told her to take a break before talking to me directly. They told her that if I reacted badly, it would show her she made the right choice. They even suggested what words to use so I would not argue. I sat there listening, feeling like every memory from the last month was being rewritten. The dinner, the suitcase, the cold texts, the social media posts. None of it had been random. It had been guided. I asked her why she let them do that. She looked down and said, "Because it felt easier than facing you." That was the sentence that ended something in me. Not the marriage, not in that exact second, but the version of us where I felt safe with her. I told her I could handle problems. I could handle hearing that she was unhappy. I could handle counseling, distance, hard conversations, even separation if that was what she wanted. But I could not handle being managed like a problem her family needed to solve. She cried harder, but I did not comfort her. That sounds harsh, but I had spent weeks being treated like the danger in her life, when all I had done was ask to be included in my own marriage. After that meeting, consequences came fast. Her family panicked when they found out I knew. Her sister sent me a long message saying I had invaded privacy and was twisting concern into control. I did not respond. Her mother called me 4 times. I did not answer. Her father sent one message: "Handle this maturely." That one almost made me laugh, not because it was funny, but because the whole situation was so unfair that my body did not know what else to do. My wife asked to come home and talk. I said no, not because I wanted to punish her, because I needed one calm place where her family's voices could not enter. For the first time in weeks, I set a boundary. I told her we could speak with a marriage counselor, but only if her family stayed out of it. No updates to them after every session, no group advice, no secret planning. She agreed at first. Then, 2 days later, she said her mother felt hurt by being excluded. That was when I understood the real problem. My wife did not know how to be married without taking her family into the room with us. Even when they were not physically there, they were there. In her doubts, in her choices, in her words, in the way she looked at me like she was waiting for someone else to tell her what she felt. We went to 3 counseling sessions. In the first one, she admitted she had not made the break fully on her own. In the second one, she admitted she had shared private arguments with her family for years. In the third one, the counselor asked her if she was willing to make decisions without asking her family first. She could not answer. That silence was my answer. I filed for separation a month later. It was not dramatic, no screaming, no destroyed photos, no public posts, just papers, boxes, and a quiet sadness that sat on everything. She moved the rest of her things out with her brother. She cried when she saw the empty side of the closet. I cried after they left. A few weeks later, she messaged me. She said her family had made everything worse. She said she missed our home. She said she wished she had spoken to me before letting them shape her fear into action. I read the message many times. There was a part of me that wanted to run back to the old life. But the old life was gone. Not because we had problems. Every marriage has problems. It was gone because when the hardest moment came, she did not reach for me. She handed our marriage to people who were never inside it. The hardest part was not losing my wife. It was realizing I had been fighting for a relationship where I was the last person allowed to know what was happening. In the end, I did not expose her online. I did not argue with her family. I did not try to make everyone pick sides. I just stepped away, quietly, completely. Because sometimes the most painful lesson is that love cannot survive when too many people are allowed to speak louder than the 2 people living inside it.